Welcome to Moon Monkey. On this episode, we're going to be discussing Hail Caesar, directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, and with an all-star cast.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
How long since your last confession, my son?
27 hours.
It's really too often. You're not that bad.
Here at Capitol Pictures, as you know, millions of people look to us for information and uplift and, yes, entertainment. And we're gonna give it to them.
And action. An army of technicians and actors and top-notch artistic people are working hard to bring to the screen
Our biggest release of the year. Hail Caesar is a prestige picture with one of the biggest stars in the world,
Baird Whitlock.
A truth we could see if we had, but... If we had... Faith! Faith! Cut!
Mr. Mannix,
What's up?
the director can't find Baird Whitlock.
Somebody slipped it under my door.
We have your movie star. Gather $100,000 and await instructions. Who are we? The future. Hello, Bert.
Hello, Mr. Mannix.
Lawrence, Obi, thank you all for coming. The studio needs your help.
Baird Whitlock has been kidnapped.
This is bad. Bad for movie stars everywhere.
She sings the perfect harmony.
Let's spend 24 hours.
But we're looking for him.
We don't want it in the gossip columns.
This is going to cost the studio a lot of money.
And that's where you come in.
I need some cash.
You must have very strong forearms. Is it hard squeezing it like that?
It's part of the job, miss.
I'd like to know what the hell is going on here. 20 million readers want the truth, Eddie.
Truth, yes.
Eddie?
So won't you tell me no truth? I wanna only your lies. Don't you tell me no truth? I want only your lies.
This is a drama, Mannix, a real drama.
Mr. Mannix, I know it sounds screwy, but someone's calling from the future.
Good Lord.
Wondering what's going on?
So basically what it's about, I think I would describe it as a film within a film. It's set in the 1950s, or I think 1951 specifically, and the plot follows Eddie Mannix, who was based on a real person from MGM, but that's not really touched on, but that's a little side note there.
Yeah.
Who is a fixer for Capitol Pictures, the Hollywood film studio. But when Baird Whitlock, played by George Clooney, star of the studio's big budget biblical epic Hail Caesar, is kidnapped by some people called the Future, Mannix has to get him back, is the whole kind of thrust of the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of the setup for the film, that he goes missing, and then they're kind of running around trying to set him up. The film does meander quite a lot, because it goes through, like, it's a film within a film, but there's many films that they're filming at the studio. He's like the head of the studio, so like during his day he's going like to different sound stages, and you see a huge number of things like westerns, musicals. They're kind of doing it like they're making every kind of film.
Yeah, there's a lot of films going on, but cast wise, it's like you're saying, all-star cast. It's a really really great cast, I would think.
Yeah, George Clooney playing the main actor. Baird Whitlock, and he's also playing the character in the film, like the Roman centurion.
Yeah,
but he's really good. I think they kind of sold this movie on George Clooney, but actually I would say Josh Brolin is the main character. The Eddie Mannix character is the one you're following all the way through.
You're thinking it's more George Clooney.
Yeah, on the posters and all the marketing, you thought like, oh, this is going to follow George Clooney. I think that's the way I read it.
I thought that too. But they're both kind of like really associated.
I thought George Clooney was really good though, like really good comic acting in this, which he maybe hasn't.
Yeah, well, like he
has done in other films. But I think he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and he's done a few comedy roles.
Yeah, I was going to say like they're both kind of known for being with the Coen Brothers in many films.
He was good in this. I thought that because he obviously is known as a big Hollywood actor, he was kind of playing off that a little bit as well. Because he's obviously, this is him playing a huge Hollywood actor in the 50s, and he's a huge Hollywood actor just now.
But he's also playing a complete idiot, as he is in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And Burn After. Like, in every Coen Brothers film Clooney's in, he's a complete idiot.
Yeah.
But this is his most idiotic.
It kind of ties into the themes of the film. I think that he's almost a pawn in the studio system. Like he's shown as like Eddie Mannix is kind of the mastermind of the whole thing, and he's in control, and all these people are just working for him.
Well,
and that's what you get from George Clooney.
As the fixer, like Eddie Mannix is kind of just going around solving all the problems. Like the first scene we're introduced to him, he goes in and saves some starlet. Some kind of sordid butter churning.
Yeah, from
photo shoot.
Shooting saucy photographs, French postcards.
I can't remember. So there's loads of stuff like where Eddie Mannix just kind of going around sorting out the various stars and really slapping them about quite a bit.
But Josh Brolin was fantastic.
Yeah,
one of my favourites was the guy who played Hobie Doyle, Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But he was really good.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, probably one of my favourites in it because he plays like even more of a simple character than the George Clooney character.
I wouldn't say that. I would say he's actually slightly more switched on than Clooney.
I don't know. He seems like really naive.
He has really. It's not saying much. It's more saying like George Clooney's character is that bad, that's stupid. But yeah, he was really good to me. He kind of stole the whole film.
Yeah,
I think he was really good.
I think he's because he's so naive and because he's trying so hard that you feel for him and you're kind of rooting for him. Yeah. And his little bit, like all of these kind of subplots are going off. His was the only one that I felt didn't really reach a resolution. Like there's the point when they set him up with another actress, Carlotta, who's working on. I think she does like music films. You don't really see her film.
No.
So the studio like sets them up together, tells them like you two have to go out on a date because that'll be a story for the papers and it'll help boost our studio. Yeah, like you never really found out what happened to those two, which I was like, I wish Hobie Doyle got kind of more of an ending. Happy ending.
But he did get switched to he was just not really known for doing the westerns. So he got switched to doing the Lawrence film.
Yeah, played by Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, it was really good. There was a really great scene with those two together. Just try to get Hobie Doyle to do his style of film. I can't remember what the film was called that Lawrence was directing, but
I actually wrote this down. It was Merrily We Dance.
Merrily We Dance, which is meant to be more kind of drama.
He was like he plays a British director who's like all about serious acting and drama and emotion, not about spectacle, which a lot of the Hollywood system, I presume, at that time was. They did do some serious films, but they did a lot of like just big budget kind of films.
Not like now.
So yeah, Ralph Fiennes is attempting to get Hobie Doyle.
Well, he gets phoned up. Eddie Mannix gets phoned up by the studio to say, "I'll put Hobie Doyle. He's like going to be our new big star.
Yeah,
we like him." And
yeah,
he's like, he can't act. He's awful. He can't act. He can do westerns because he's really amazing at westerns. When you first get introduced to him, he does all these amazing flips and everything. Really.
So the scene between those two is
really great. It's really great. It's one of my favourite scenes in it.
Say your line exactly as I'm about to, just as I'm about to do.
Sure. Okay.
Would that it were so simple.
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 My dear boy, why do you say that? Why do you say twere?
Well, you should say it like I said it.
Yes.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so simple.
Watch my mouth. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Keep your head still. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
I'm trying to say that, Mr. Lawrence.
Lawrence?
I thought a minute ago it was Lawrence.
No, we can use Christian names, my good dear boy. Lawrence is fine, just as I call you Hobie.
Okay.
So, would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
Would that it were so simple. Trippingly.
No, don't say trippingly. Say the line trippingly.
I've also got Scarlett Johansson, because we've not actually got through all the cast. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson, Deanne Morin, she's introduced in a really cool way.
Yeah.
It's got her like coming out of a whale, a Wales Blowhole. She comes out of a Wales Blowhole, as amazing as it sounds. And she's like in a mermaid outfit.
Yeah, she's in one of the studio's water pictures, which is like
an aquatic musical drama.
Yeah, yes, she was good in it. Again, like I felt like they didn't use her too much. She's in it. She's in, and then
it gives another view of it, because again it just shows the kind of the way the studios had power over the stars, because like she was pregnant and they were like, well, we can't have her being who's the father, we need to get her married because it's going to be bad for the studio, it's going to be bad for the movies if she's not. So just kind of showed that kind of thing.
Yeah, a couple of other people we had in it. Jonah Hill was in it very briefly, kind of almost a cameo as Joseph Silverman, who plays a kind of fixer, like helps the studio out if they're in trouble. Tilda Swinton played two roles, the two sisters, Thora and Thessaly Thacker.
Yeah, Thora and Thessaly Thacker.
Difficult to say.
Difficult to tell them apart as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. She plays twin sisters, who you're not really sure which one's which.
And neither are the people in the film.
Yeah, they work as journalists in the kind of what I guess would be gossip columns,
but they don't like to be called that.
No. And Channing Tatum,
Burt Gurney,
Channing Tatum, the people's favourite. Plays kind of another big, like, handsome movie star in the musical number. Which that for me was one of the most fun parts of the film. Was really good. I guess just because it's a musical number as well, it kind of had that up.
But again, like each kind of movie star, like George Clooney, Scott Johansson, Channing Tatum, and Aldrin Ehrenreich, if I'm saying that right, are all introduced in their own kind of genre, and it's really good. It's really fun to see.
One of the things I felt,
each one,
like we might talk about this a bit later, but I thought like all the actors. They were like playing maybe stereotypes or archetypes of certain types of actor. So I felt like if you know more about Hollywood or you've seen a lot of these older movies, you'd get more out of it because you can relate that to somebody you know. They were fun characters anyway, but I guess if you could picture, who's that supposed to be, or who's that representing in the film, you might get more out of it.
Well, I read a thing and it's like each one of them is based on certain film star of the time.
Yeah.
And even like the director, Lawrence Lawrence, supposed to be based on Laurence Olivier or something like that. Yeah. So it's all kind of...
Yeah, you get this. Yeah, you get the sense that, okay, this is... Like, they based this on somebody.
But without being too specific.
Yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is if you knew who it was, you might get more of a laugh out of it. Because you'd be like,
if you're really into 1950s Hollywood movies, then you'll probably get a lot of in-jokes.
So the cast were really great. The direction for the film I thought was really good, especially kind of set design, like the whole style of the film, like set in 1950s, but they really managed to create that 1950s studio vibe. Like you never felt, it felt realistic.
I mean, I think you've got big shots going over the top of the studio, and you've got the water tower, and you've got everything that kind of feels like it. You've got all these massive sets and statues, and
that was the thing, because they were creating sets within the studios as well, so you're like completely immersed in this world. Like it was a very clever technique because you're seeing sort of backstage of these films being shot, so you're like really super immersed in it. You're almost like 2 levels into the film, not only watching the film about the studio, but also seeing what has happening in the films that they are filming.
It's like when you see the credits for Hail Caesar, it's actually Eddie Mannix watching Hail Caesar the movie.
Yeah.
And you're watching Eddie Mannix watching Hail Caesar. Yeah, so it's all kind of I like that how even the credits were.
Yeah, kind of
movie within a movie.
Yeah, that's kind of really funny. But yeah, everything about the production design on it I thought was just fantastic.
Yeah, it really kind of captured the 1950s because it looked like, colour palette wise, it looked like a 1950s movie. Like it had that feeling of like classic Hollywood, just like all the kind of colours they were using, and it just gave that.
But you felt like the films could be real films. I suppose the films they were doing were probably based on other things that they've seen as well. But I kind of wondered how much backstory they'd created for those films. Like if they'd actually decided on a story for those films, and you only obviously see like a tiny portion of each one, like one scene.
But it's great everyone that you see because you're like, this looks really good.
Yeah, you're kind of like, I kind of want to see this film. Yeah. Like, what's going to happen with this one? Especially the Channing Tatum one. I'm not sure where that was going. A ship full of guys.
But that seems like your kind of movie.
Yeah. 2 tickets. Yeah, the themes of the film, there might be some spoilers here, because the plot that we've described is pretty much the setup for the film, and then as it goes on, you find out that George Clooney's character has been kidnapped by communists, which is kind of playing into the whole fear of the kind of Red Menace of the 1950s.
Yeah, the kind of Red Scare and McCarthy, I suppose. People getting blacklisted and not being able to direct or write, or blacklisted because of having links to communism or any kind of ideas that didn't fit with.
It just further helped create that period feel, I suppose, that was going on at the time, so you can't really ignore it.
They didn't really go too deeply into it, though. It was kind of just glossed over a lot.
That was a lot like my favourite parts of the film were, the communists. Yeah. Just talking about communist theory and the studio system. That was one part of the film where it seemed like they were like really going somewhere, and I was trying to make the connection because obviously the studio is called Capitol Pictures, and they talk about Das Kapital, and it's like, Capitol Pictures, capitalism.
With a K.
Yeah, with a K. So there's Capitol Pictures, capitalism, they're actors, they're working for the studios, the means of production. So you're trying to make this link of, is the studio representative of like the society?
Yeah, there's a lot.
All that's kind of going on there.
I think like it was kind of like a satire of Hollywood, like a lot of Coen Brothers movies. There is like loads in there.
One of another part we didn't mention. Eddie Mannix is also being offered a job at Lockheed, and it's just after they've done the Bikini Atoll test with the nuclear bombs. So he's they're trying to tempt him away from the studio by telling him like basically cinema's on the way out because everyone has a television now, so cinema's dying off. Why don't you come work for us? Yeah, there was a lot of kind of like themes about like the downfall of things. Like even in Hail Caesar, the actual biblical epic movie, it's the downfall of Rome. Yeah, it's the Christ is risen. And they're kind of hinting at the downfall of the studio system, and there's like even like the downfall of religion, like and stuff like that. It's kind of changing of the guard, the old, out with the old, and it's kind of like is the communism thing going to work out? Is the capitalism thing going to work out? There's a lot of kind of like what's going to go on there. Yeah. We're still waiting to see if communism works out. But in the 1950s, like they're kind of thinking what's going to work out. It's all about faith, I think. The movie, really. Yeah, I suppose so. To be honest, like I have no idea what the film was about. I'm still struggling to piece things together. But that's what I feel like with a lot of Coen Brothers movies. Yeah, it's like they're always difficult. They're always kind of hard to understand because there's a scene early on in the film where you see another like one of the hilarious scenes in it. You got 4 religious people. It's like a rabbi, that's one of the rabbi, a priest, and the 2 others. Walking to a bar. So the head of this, Eddie Mannix, is basically saying, we got this idea for a picture. It's going to be about Jesus. Like, what do you think? Are you happy with that? Are you happy with the depiction we've got of him? And then just like the 4 religious leaders saying like, well, we're all right with you showing Jesus. And the Jewish guy's like, well, it's not God, is it? Like, he's just a man. It's Robert Picardo for all the Star Trek fans out there. He was really good at it, and they stole that scene. Yeah. There was like the 4 religious leaders around the table. Yeah, I did. The rabbi was like fantastic. I did like that scene. It did make me laugh. I think that was there were a lot of funny parts of the film. Like it did make me laugh quite a lot. The 3 kind of main ones to watch out for, I would say, would be the Hobie Doyle scene. Hobie Doyle and Lawrence doing a bit of script tinkering, and also Channing Tatum. The stadium dance bit, that was fantastic, and all the religious figures around the table. They were the 3. Yeah, those are like the 3 highlights there. But it was like it was really most upbeat film I've seen them do, because a lot of it's about more darker issues and stuff. But this was a really kind of happy movie and quite a sunny movie, I felt. Yeah, like overall. The end of the movie, like I won't give the end of the movie away, but you do feel like it just finished on a real upbeat. Of I think there even is like a sunrise, is there not, or it's like really sunny and it's like everything's gonna be okay. But I'm not sure like at the start if it was just maybe like 24 hours in Eddie Mannix's life, so that's why it was just like so there wasn't any wrap up. But for me, there's no. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Like I found out that again today, and then thinking back, I was like, oh yeah, it was just a 24-hour thing. Like, because so much happens in it, but actually it is all one day. Like, it all happens. It's like starts really early in the morning, but then it finishes like the next morning.
24 hours or a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Like that. But there's no really wrap up in Coen Brothers movies. They all can end abruptly. Maybe that's just me, but I think they can all just stop. Yeah, pretty abruptly for me.
That's the thing. It's like you're offered a look into these people's lives, and then that's it. It just ends. So I suppose that's just a matter of preference if you like that or not. Yeah. I suppose if it wrapped up, you'd kind of feel like it was fake. But because it feels like these characters are carrying on,
they're all still doing it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, their careers are to go on and they'll do more films. It's like, oh, you feel like it's more realistic. The good points of the film, I think, the production design was fantastic. The direction was fantastic. Even the script, everything came together. There was a lot of weird things. Well, as you're watching it, you think like, oh, I don't see what the point is there. But then it all comes together at the end. And there's a lot of things that they reference, like you'll see it, and then they'll reference it again later, and you think, oh, that's why, like that makes sense, why that happened earlier on.
I think for me it's like one of the funniest Coen Brothers movies. Or maybe the funniest Coen Bros movie. Because there's so much comedy in it, and it's not taking itself really seriously. They're just having a good time. And they're like, oh, we like all these movies. I've seen a review saying, no, it's because they don't like Hollywood. But I feel like it's because they maybe grew up with that kind of time, and they did appreciate those movies. And those kind of stars and those characters.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of affection for Hollywood. I think you can see throughout the film. Like everything is an homage to old Hollywood films and Hollywood actors. And that was one of the funny things as well. Like there are films within the film, but the actual plot that you're watching is like a Hollywood movie. There are points in it where you think, yeah, this is like the actual story I'm watching here could be a Hollywood, like 1950s Hollywood movie. If that makes it sounds kind of weird because it's maybe confusing like which film I'm talking about. But the film you're watching, Hail Caesar. Because like Eddie Mannix, when you see him at the beginning and it's like dark and raining and he's in his trench coat, it's like, oh, it's like an old style hard-boiled detective story. And then there's parts later on where it gets like, oh, this is a comedy caper movie or whatever. Like they go through so many
Soviet propaganda.
Soviet propaganda. They cycle through so many genres. That's the thing, because it was like meta and self-referential because there were communists there saying about, people used to think like the communists were sneaking communist propaganda into films, but as you're watching, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing here because you've spent like a good scene there just explaining what the communist position is. Did you think there was any negative points, any bad points?
I've heard a lot of people say that it was a bit all over the place, but I didn't really notice that at the time. I just enjoyed it. But I haven't thought about it. Maybe it is a bit over the place. But I wouldn't say that's just like... But I liked how it got all the different stars and all the different genres, and it was just like appreciating.
Yeah. I think it's one of those films that you're either going to like it or dislike it, probably based on the same things. Because like some of the things that I have down as negatives were some of the characters, like Baird was kind of just an empty vessel in a way. He didn't have much of a character.
He was meant to be an
that's what so you're either going to enjoy it and be like, oh, I thought that was really funny how he was like that, or you're going to think, oh, I don't like that.
I don't know how many. I think it's like 4 or 5 movies he's been in the Coen Brothers, but each one, like George Clooney's IQ has gotten smaller, and that's what I expected in this one.
The next one he'll be down to single figures.
Yeah, because there's the great bit where he's doing the speech, and that's even in the trailer, and he just like he gets through it, and it's really emotional. At the time I was like, this is a really good speech, and then he gets to the end of it, and he just forgets his last line. And it's just like, that's what he's like.
I thought I thought that part is again like a really good representation of the film. It's as though it's going for something grand and epic, but then at the end it's just a farce because he forgets the line. And that's what this film feels like all the way through for me. It's as though like it's building to something, or there's going to be some showdown between characters where you'll suddenly realise like, oh, that's what this has all been building for. But then at the end, it's just like, oh no, it's just a comedy. Like it just ends with a joke. Like there is another scene in it where it kind of builds. It's like building tension, and it just ends with like a really ridiculous joke. It was like, oh, that's what you were building up to. Yeah, so that was one, like him, and Scarlett Johansson I thought was, kind of in it. I think because they put so many actors in it as well, a lot of them just appear and do like a little comedy bit and then go. I haven't seen some of the other Coen Brothers comedies like Burn After Reading, which I think, from the look of it, looks the same style as this, where it's kind of people just do like a little funny cameo and then leave. So, I mean, if you like that, then that's just preference, I think. The other bad point was, like we were saying before, a lot of references, like the Eddie Mannix, you were saying was based on a real guy. And I think a lot of the things...
Nothing like this Eddie Mannix, apparently. But that guy was much more horrible.
But that's the thing, I think it's like if you knew more about the Hollywood system in those days, you'd maybe get more out of it. Because I constantly felt like, there's maybe a joke there that I'm not getting.
I just feel like you can still go and enjoy it because it was just funny.
Yeah.
I want to find... we've reviewed quite a lot now. I don't know, we've reviewed 8 films so far, I think. And usually I don't really like a lot of stuff. But I feel like either we've been choosing stuff that we really want to see and I'm going to like, or...
I mean, I enjoyed...
There's been a lot of...
I don't know whether I'd say I enjoyed this or not. I did enjoy it. I wasn't like hating on it when I came out.
Yeah.
But then I can see why people do, because there were some things where it's as though it makes you feel a little stupid. It makes you feel like, I've missed something, or maybe there was something there that I was supposed to get from it, which I didn't get. I
think like their kind of style is you need to watch it again and maybe do a bit of research, or whatever, because there's always a lot in there, but you need to kind of look for it.
There were jokes like I read today on a trivia site. Apparently, the bit when Hobie Doyle has got spaghetti,
the spaghetti western,
and that like went straight over my head. He's got spaghetti and he ties it into a lasso and he's like spinning it round. And I was like, that's funny.
The things that man can do a rope.
I was like, that's funny because he's doing that. But then someone was like, that's a reference to spaghetti westerns. But I was like, that joke went right past me.
It's very...
And that's the thing. A lot of people, I imagine, would just sit there, maybe stony-faced, just thinking, this is just all going past me because I don't understand the references.
I do think it was just a comedy.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I said to you, like... going in, I think because the Coen Brothers have such a name for themselves now, like they're so well respected that when you go to see their films, you're always trying to puzzle out, like, does this have a deeper meaning? Is there like a reference here, or is there something like, is it some kind of thing that I have to unravel, rather than just watching it as like, it's just a comedy. Like there's nothing more to it than that. Yeah. Like when they do a joke about like communism or Judaism, that's it. There's no deeper insinuation there. But yeah, overall, I think people would have a good time.
Yeah, I think whether or not you're going to look really deeply into it and look for religion and ideology and existentialism, or if you're just wanting to have a laugh, then
but it's because like they bring it up though. They brought the communism up and the religion, so you're thinking is this?
But all I'm saying is like you don't. Even if you're not into all that and you're not looking to get into all that, you can still enjoy it because there's just funny moments in it.
Like right from the beginning when he's in the confessional, it's like, okay. Because they not start with a picture of Jesus and then it's kind of
there's a lot of biblical things in it.
But so you're always thinking like, what's the... Yeah, and then they finish with that. So it's like, it ties up. But like you're still left thinking, what does that mean? I don't quite... Like, I can see that, like, okay, you've joined the beginning and the end up, but I can't quite see what I'm supposed to get from that.
But you could still... But all I'm saying is you can still go, and if you're not looking for all that tie-in and all that, you can still enjoy it, because it has got some jokes in it, and it's pretty well written, and it's got a lot of kill scenes in it.
Yeah, I think you would... Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
But I know what you mean. There's a lot in there, but you need to dig for it, probably.
Yeah.
There's a lot of excavating involved.
That's true.
So I would probably recommend it for anyone, basically.
Yeah, I would recommend it as like a fun film, and especially if you're kind of a Coen Brothers fan. Especially if you're a fan of cinema, and you like that world, and you like the idea of like all the different types of films.
If you're into classic Hollywood,
this
is the one for you. What are we going to do next time?
Next time on Moon Monkey, we're going to do Silence of the Lambs for the 25th anniversary release.
tell me no truth, they're just